Hey, it's Dasan Mazinga again from Dasan Guitars. Well, I shared something recently and I got a lot of feedback from you guys, and I thought I could share with you a lot more. I'm working on some guitar bodies. Right now, I think I'll shoot another video about that. But for today, we're going to talk about guitar necks. Fascinating, right? And specifically, I would like to share with you up to the point where this actually starts to look like a neck, because now this is the flank. Yes, we have routed out or trimmed this area, which is also yet to be routed, but then you can see now this is a truss rod channel. I've already routed that through, so I'm going to show you how we come to this point, what its use is actually, and then we shall go ahead to use that machine you see there. I think that's one of my favorite machines. Yeah, that's one of my favorite machines. So we're going to use it to trim off certain areas, and then we shall use our jigsaw to trim off other areas, and then we shall come up with a smaller area matching the dimensions which we need to trim off again to reach the final stage where we are ready to carve the neck into a real neck, which is good. So let's go. So, how do we come to this? What happens is, let me first take you through the use of this truss rod channel. This technically accommodates this metal here. This goes inside here. That's why it is called a truss rod channel. Now, this is a truss rod, and this is a truss rod channel. This is a truss rod. This is a truss rod channel. Okay? So, what does this do? Wood alone is exposed to a lot of tension of the strings, and it is, however much you may use solid wood like mahogany, for example, it's going to bend to the tension of the strings over time. This is where it comes into play. A metal is not going to easily bend. So when we put it inside here, it provides extra rigidity and support to the neck. But it does something else. When it is tilted through this hole, which accommodates I think they call it a wrench. No, it's not a wrench. It's called an Allen key. It enters in here. Then when you turn it, you can adjust this truss rod to bend upwards or downwards, causing it to take the wood along with it as it bends, causing the action of the guitar, which is the space between the strings and the fretboard, to come up or down, which makes the guitar more playable. Now, some guitars have that and some guitars don't have, and this can be laid into the neck of the guitar in different ways. Sometimes it can pass through the front of the neck, sometimes, which is my most favorite or my most used, it goes through the sound hole of the guitar. Yeah, so let's see how we get to this point. This is a neck assembled, but we have not yet laid in this truss rod channel. So how do we do that? We get our square. This is it, and this is our neck. We measure and demarcate the center of the neck. Okay. Of course, this is planed and flat. Okay. So we measure and we mark our center, and this is our center here, and I've already marked here. This is our center. So we will come with our square. We will come with our square and mark out a straight line. Okay? Follow through with me. We mark through a straight line. Okay? That is it. Dividing this neck into two equal parts. Okay? You have to make sure you get this right, because if you don't get it right, it's going to make your neck not align to the body, and that is a very wrong calculation. So when we are done with this, we are going to come with a straight edge blade of a router bit, and then we shall drill a truss rod channel in here. But since this neck is for a 38-inch size guitar, I always work with a body of a 38-inch near me. This is a laminate body. This is for our beginner acoustic guitars. And what I do is I get a neck like this one, which I have already routed, and I will make a measurement of it along the body so that I know where it connects with the body. This will help me make sure that the truss rod is not so long into the body, or it is not so short into the what? Into the neck. So when that is done, I'm going to get my marked area, bring it against the line which I have demarcated on the neck, and then I will measure. I'll mark where the truss rod must end. So this is where our truss rod is going to end. You don't need to leave a lot of space here, because if you do, then the truss rod is not going to do what? It's not going to be fitting. It's going to be wiggling. It's going to be shaking inside, moving inside the neck. And you don't want that. You need it firm so that when it adjusts, the neck can also adjust along with the what? With the truss rod. So at this point, we get our truss rod. We are going to use a straight edge bit. This. I'm not so sure of the exact size of its diameter, but I've measured it for some time. I've used it for some time, and I've measured the hole which it makes and its fit for the size of the truss rod which goes into the neck. So this is it. So you have to measure as well. You have to measure the thickness. Is it the thickness? No, it's the height of the truss rod, so that it is not so short, or it is not so high, or it's not so deep, so that the truss rod is not so deep into the neck, but again it shouldn't be flashing over the fretboard or the neck, because when you bring the fretboard to sit onto the neck, it will not be doing it, because this will be standing in the way of it being flashing properly with it. So safety first. We're going to wear our gas mask. At this rate, we should actually be having what are they called? Goggles. Yeah, I think they're called goggles. So we should be having goggles to protect our eyes, but I'm here to get those ones very soon. What next? I use this as my block. Should I call it a block? But it helps me keep it works as a straight edge to help me keep my router or my trimmer aligned. So I'm going to bring my trimmer and place the blade right where the line is. Okay? Now I always make sure that the line is meeting the blade at this edge. That works as the center. Okay, so I will bring my piece of wood which works as my ruler right there, and then I'll bring it forward to the front, and I do the same thing to make sure that when I move my router, it doesn't move where I don't want it to go. Okay, so when I do that, when I'm done doing that, I'm going to get my drill and I fasten screws into the wood. Preferably, if you do have clamps, also you can use clamps. If you're not so sure, you can use clamps to first clamp down this wood so that the screws don't get the wood shaking around, moving around, which will spoil your alignment. Of course, I'm going to come back and test it again and make sure that it is aligned the way I want it to be, and then I can start routing. So let me put in this screw halfway, and then I'll come back with the router and test. So this is our second test. This side is aligned properly, and then I'll come to the front. Normally the front is stubborn, so I will realign the front as well. And now I can come and fasten it. That is done. So after that, okay, This is not nice. How is this supposed to work? We wear our mask. So, bring the camera closer. You need to get rid of this dust, and when you do, you realize our hole is aligned properly. Our truss rod channel is aligned properly. Our truss rod channel is aligned properly with the line which we put to the center. So you can come now and test out to make sure the truss rod fits in properly and flashes very well. And with this, you know that the truss rod is ready, or the truss rod channel is ready. You get this out. This is a jig I made to, this outside bit you're seeing is a jig I made to help me hold the neck into position without it moving as I route out. Now you can do this with a table router or a router which has a platform, but I don't have that, so this works as that for me, and so far it is giving me good results. Now we can unclamp or remove this setup. Get this off, and we can get our neck out. So this is what we were trying to achieve. Same as this.